This topic that I'm about to speak about is very sensitive, and it's been going on for years. And it's the dislike that Caribbean blacks and African blacks, not all, I can't say all, because I have a lot of Caribbean and African friends, but why do a lot of them hate black Americans? I'm going to show you some videos. Let's get it.
They came here in the 80s and 90s, so what he was saying about how they think that black people are lazy does resonate with me because I've heard that a lot. But obviously, as me being a first generation American, I don't really obviously agree. But I don't know. I don't know what can change it, to be honest, because I feel like it's a real stereotype that we just cannot change. Obviously, and even if we try to change it, I think that it would be a way. I don't know how to put it in words. Having all three of us together, Africans, Caribbeans, and Black Americans, would be such a powerful thing that it's not something that the world is even probably ready for.
And that's exactly why they show us the way they're showing us, because they don't want us together.
Exactly.
So they push the media out there, and the people in other continents is learning about America from what? The media, the movies, all that shit that they pushing out there. So when they come here, they already got this preconceived notion that they thugs, they not civil, all this other shit, and it's just ignorance. At the end of the day, you gotta take time and get to know people before judging them.
Yep.
And you gotta bring that respect that she was talking about. Everything that you approach, it gotta be respectful. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
That's fair. And I love that we had this conversation. Because we do need to have these spaces to have these conversations more.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. So to get into this next topic. There's a lot of talk recently with black American women who's saying, they're frustrated with the black men in America, obviously, and they want to get them a Caribbean or one specifically. They want to get them a Caribbean man. So, what advice? What advice do you have for black women looking to date Caribbean men?
Don't. Yeah. I was about to say.
Don't. Why not?
It's because it's a different level of manipulation and lies and just it's they love you so good, they will have you so convinced that they love you, and it's just a completely different person as soon as he turned the corner. It's so scary, it's almost unbelievable.
Yeah, they're good, stay good. Them Caribbean men is trash.
That's what I was.
You have to get stamina. You gotta get enough energy, enough strength with them. Wow.
Honestly.
Especially Jamaicans.
I know Jamaican men. Took the words out my mouth.
I had one. I don't want no more.
They just had a viral video about that too.
What?
A woman. She said she left Jamaican men to deal with a Nigerian man, and a Jamaican woman stitched the video, and she goes, "It's my sister. They're both members of Satan's army. Left the ancestor for the." It was so funny. Yeah, but I get what she's saying. So from what I can ascertain, being American born and being able to comfortably navigate between the two cultures of American and Caribbean, American men, the saying is that they treat their wife or wifey. She gets everything. She gets the love. She gets the money. The side chick is, just to get his shit off.
Real, y'all were bullying Africans. But hold on, African people. Y'all do have to admit that y'all do talk trash about black Americans. We have to get past this little hump that we have with each other, right? Black people all over the world, right? And I'm specifically aiming towards black people that live in America. All black people. If you're from Africa, if you're from Haiti, if you're from Jamaica, wherever. We all have to start admitting these things to get past these things and seeing why these things happen. I know why these things happen. White supremacy. So American media, when they showed us Africa, they showed black people in huts. They showed black people in pieces of clothing. They showed black people with face paint. They showed malnourished black people. They didn't show us that Africa was a prosperous place when we were younger. Of course, you could do the research when you get older, but some people are ignorant. They're not going to do the research. So that goes through their head for the rest of their life, right? I could say a lot of black people have that perspective maybe when they're younger because they don't know any better. And that could also be passed down from their family. But y'all also have a perspective about us that's passed down from y'all family. The side of it that we're ungrateful. and blah, blah, blah. But we all went through struggles because of white supremacy and white colonization, right? Yeah, I think we all need to have an open dialogue on our issues with each other, or our issues that we claim we have with each other, so we can get past these issues. Because there's no point in having these issues. Our enemy is white supremacy. That's our enemy. And we see that every day. So, yeah, I think there's room for an open conversation.
This divisiveness that is going on in the diaspora, whether it's Africans or Black Americans or Caribbeans, there seems to be this narrative of your culture is not as respected, or you don't have any culture. Like, we had African women on the show who said that their parents look down upon Black Americans a certain way. And I also know Caribbean parents who have come to this country and stay away from them Black people because they are X, Y, and Z.
My parents are both from Grenada. They came here in the 80s and 90s. So what he was saying about how they think that Black people are lazy does resonate with me, because I've heard that a lot.
They don't want us together.
Exactly.
So they push the media out there, and the people in other continents is learning about America from what? The media, the movies, all that shit that they pushing out there. So when they come here, they already got this preconceived notion that, they thugs, they not civil, all this other shit. And it's just ignorance at the end of the day. You gotta take time and get to know people before judging them.
I want to switch topics, but because this is a very controversial talking point on the internet, right? I go on TikTok and I see a lot of UK people speaking about black Americans, right? So what a lot of people, the UK, Africans, Caribbeans, a lot of their talking points is Black Americans or FBAs don't have culture. What do you say to those people who say that?
That's a projection. That's a projection because we are the culture here. Our lineage goes back to this country longer than the lineage to their country, because their countries are relatively new, especially over there in West Africa. Not just West Africa, all of Africa. Many of those countries were basically created in the 1800s at the Berlin Conference. So they don't have a deep, rich culture. That's why a lot of them have to leave, because of a lot of tribalism. They're not as deeply rooted as they're supposed to be. So they do a lot of projecting onto us. Our culture is so deeply rooted here. Everything about American culture that is good comes from foundational Black Americans. The food, the dance, the slang, the sports, the entertainment.
They try to say you can't use those examples nowadays.
Why can't we? Foundational Black Americans created the modern doorknob. We created the modern toilet. We created modern dry cleaning. So many things that we created. We created the modern home security system. I mean, we've had 50,000 patents. We can claim all of this stuff. All of the music genres was created by foundational Black Americans. We are the culture. And they know this, because if you go to their countries, they're acting like us. We're not acting like them. They got on baseball hats and Nike shoes and stuff that we're wearing.
That's right.
90-degree weather.
Right. They ain't wearing kente cloth sweatpants. They're wearing Nikes and Adidas like we're wearing.
Right. So even when you went to say about how the countries in West Africa, like I've seen an old map of Africa before they had the invisible lines with the borders with the countries, and like you said, those countries didn't exist until like the time frame you said. So when I hear this this conversation, and I think you seen one of our clips. It was a Haitian woman, and she was like,
I definitely remember that.
She would sit on the couch and she would just say, I can't date a Black American because Black Americans don't have any cultures, and that one just went crazy online because it just. While she's dressed like an American Black woman, she's sitting there talking about Black Americans don't have, you know what I mean? So that is always a kind of divisive talking point in the diaspora.
And they can never tell us what their culture is, because when people call up to our lives and start talking about culture, I ask, what is your culture? They can never give an answer. You understand? We can give answers to what our culture is, all of the music and the foods. We can give that. But they can't really give an answer to what their culture is. And that's no disrespect to our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. We got love for you. But those who come over and try to denigrate us and project this weird thing, we will check them.
Why is it so easy for everyone to attack, the culture of Black Americans?
The thing is, this is the game they play. With us, we are so inclusive. We share our culture with everybody. We're too damn nice. That's been the problem, because whenever we do something, we say, okay, we chop it up to just global Africanness. We've been on that. So if we do something positive, we'll say, hey, our African brothers, we got it, probably from some tribe or whatever. We're share it with everybody. For a long time, we were sharing hip hop with the Caribbeans because they were like, well, Caribbeans help do it. And we're like, not really, but we'll share. We're all black. We had that type of thing. And that was a mistake because what happens is a lot of these people who didn't create anything, we give them something, then they take it for granted and then say, hey, you know what? I did it and y'all didn't do shit and y'all ain't got no culture and we do. And we're saying, hey, we ain't playing that game no more.
It's really getting deep, and I'm starting to do a lot of these videos because I'm bringing out a lot of topics that a lot of people are trying to exit from. This has been going on ever since I was young. I was always told that we have no culture and that we're crooks, criminals, because what the media says, but the media doesn't show all the stuff that we invented. I have to give a lot of credit to the Caucasian community because they are the ones who's bringing out all the stuff that black people have done for this country. I'm noticing there's a lot of Caucasian people, a lot of white people that's starting to bring out a lot of our inventions and people who invented stuff, and they're the ones who's pushing. If you look on social media, it's the white folks, the Caucasian folks that people call the devil. Those are the ones that's giving us homage and saying, you cannot say this about black Americans because they created this, they helped fight wars, they helped fight this, they created that, they cooking, they're better at cooking, dancing, rapping, singing. So I like to give a thanks to the Caucasian community as far as the Caribbean blacks and African blacks. I have a lot of Caribbean friends and African friends that don't agree of what their people are doing and saying. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment of what you think. I'm going to be doing more and more of these videos, and I'm going to be bringing out a lot of stuff. This is Big Hawk, Street Talk, Yonkers Natives. Be safe.